I've been seeing lots of people talking about this bill that passed the House at the end of last week, where they are trying to automate the selective service. Now, myself, like a lot of Americans at 18, we signed up for the selective service or the draft. They are not bringing the draft back. This was a way to automate the process where, as long as you were born with an American birth certificate and a social security number, you were automatically entered in to selective service at 18. It would eliminate the need for 18-year-olds to go out and file, and basically just streamline the process. And it would also eliminate the charges that would come from not filing out your card. I remember being, days after being 18, filling out the card at the post office, dropping it in, and that was that. Now, we have not had a draft since the end of the Vietnam War. Should they reinstate the draft, people with those cards filled out now would be the first ones selected, and they'd go from there. Now, but people are all mad about this whole thing, and they are trying to blame it on Biden. Well, first of all, automating it is not a bad idea, but it passed the Republican-controlled House. I don't know if the Senate is going to take it up, and I don't know if Joe Biden would sign it. This is not reinstating the draft. The fact of them saying it's reinstating the draft is nothing but a fear-mongering talking point, trying to get people mad at Joe Biden. Now, the person who has said they want to reinstate the draft or some form of military service is Donald Trump. Donald Trump came out at one of his events recently and said he wants to do mandatory 2-year military service for all Americans, well, all American men, which is funny because he dodged the draft like 5 different times with bone spurs. And I don't know what age his version would cap at. But it's funny that the Republicans cheer it when he says it, and he wants to make military service mandatory and not even a draft, just straight mandatory. And they cheer when he says it, or at least the Trump humpers do. But they try to automate the draft selection process and eliminate criminal convictions for people who forget to fill out that card. And suddenly everybody's up in arms over over Joe Biden. So it's not really a thing to worry about. If it does pass, all it does is automate the process and eliminates penalties because nobody would forget. And of course, some people are freaking out that this would also include women in service. And you've got conservatives that were saying, well, my daughter's not going to go fight. And some women are saying they don't want to. Right now, it's up to them whether they choose to enlist or not. And I don't know if they would eventually include them in the selective service or a draft or not. That's up to them to decide at the time we need to institute a draft. But this isn't the story that it's claiming to be. It's really a whole bunch of nothing because, again, it passed the Republican-controlled House, probably won't pass the Senate, and I don't know. Joe Biden hasn't said whether or not he's going to sign it. But it was just a way to automate the process. It is not them reinstituting the draft or even trying to. So don't let the media and other influencers twist this narrative and get you all mad over something that really isn't what they're saying it is.